Excuse me. Mr. Big Houston, a very happy Thanksgiving to you, sir. Are you still in El Paso? And if you are, hopefully that is home. And hopefully you are with your family. But I'm just setting up here to do a little Thanksgiving meal. Mr. B. Blood, I read something in a comment. I'm sorry I did not respond as of yet, but happy Thanksgiving to you too, sir. As soon as I can, I will be going back to that Oklahoma home. Okay. Home is in Indiana. Well, I'm not too far away. I'm here in Paducah, Kentucky. If you saw my little bit of live stream yesterday, I did one on Facebook. I did one on YouTube yesterday. Well, I am initially stopped because of permits. That's number one. Because I'm not allowed to enter into Illinois from Paducah, Kentucky. Yes, as of yesterday at noon, I could not travel in Illinois until sunrise on Friday, tomorrow, which sunrise is going to be 6:46 a.m. That's number one. Because of Thanksgiving, I can't do that travel. So that's one reason why I'm sitting here today. Number two, my transmission has died. 18-speed Eaton Fuller. Yesterday coming north on US 51, or 61, sorry, in Mississippi, coming into Memphis, position 4, high and low, position 8, high and low, on an 18-speed Eaton Fuller, or Eaton, whatever they want to call it. Just, first it started rattling really bad, making grinding noise and just being real loud and vibrating. Pulled over in Memphis at a MAPCO on the northwest corner near US 51, right off of I-240. Called my boss, or called my shop for the company. They said, the actual manager of the shop said, drive it till it breaks. It's under warranty. Okay. Well, a little over an hour later, just about roughly an hour later, going north on US 51 in Tennessee, heading up north, up to Kentucky. It completely, the gear completely died. So 4 gears in total. Gear number 9, 10, 17, and 18 all share the same gear ring. Not gearing, gear ring. When I'm starting off from a stop, I have to go from 3 high, which is 8th gear. Pull the flipper up with the finger here like this. Pull the flipper up, and pull the pull the selector, the splitter, to the back. Go into 5 low, which is 11th gear. So I have to skip gear number 9, gear number 10. Well, here's the thing. I lost all function of those 4 gears. 9, 10, 17, 18. Basically 4 low, 4 high, 7 or 8 high, 8 low, 8 high on the gear shift. They all share the same gear ring, just the associated gears that come in contact with it basically destroyed it. And that's what I was told to do. Drive it till it breaks. Okay, it's a company vehicle. I'm a company employee. A manager of the shop told me to do that. It's under warranty, so there you go. So when I put the stick, the gears lever into those gears, it's like being in neutral. There is no power transfer going all the way through to the drive shaft. I rev the engine, the tachometer just goes up, no power whatsoever going through the transmission. So I got here to Paducah, and by the time I got here, it was starting to shift worse in all the gears. When I stopped in Memphis, I had no transmission fluid leaking. So, I had no transmission fluid leaking. I was able to do 55 miles an hour in 16th gear, which is 7 high at about 1,610 RPM for well over almost 2 hours. I was able to do that. Got here, got parked, sent a message off saying, hey, this is where I stopped. I did as I was told to do. I can't go any further because of the permits limitations in Illinois. This is as far as I can actually get according to permits. And here's what's going on with the truck now, the transmission now. And a little while after that, I got a message across the computer. Stay put. A truck will be brought down to me from Grand Meadow, brought down here, which is about 630 miles. So that's a full day's journey from there to here. That was late in the afternoon. That was after 3 o'clock. That was almost like 4 o'clock. So nothing was going to be done yesterday. Today being a holiday, nobody's going to be at the office there. So I don't expect that. That may have happened. Somebody may have gotten arrangements real early. I may get a truck tomorrow for me to drive either temporarily or permanently switch me to a different truck. I don't know. But I've got no phone call, no email, no information across the ELD computer. And right now, I'm just in limbo, waiting for them to tell me what's going to go on. So, 1, I need to wait for a truck. That's number 1. Number 2, once the truck gets here, I need to switch some stuff over. If it's temporary, just enough to get me going. So things out of the refrigerator, a bit of bedding, a few clothes, some documentation, computer and stuff to go along. My personal stuff, the expensive stuff, computer, hard drives, cameras, GPS, all that jazz. So I can get up, make this delivery and then get to headquarters where I may move back into this truck if they have it repaired by the time I get there. Blah, blah, blah. Also, part of that, I have to wait for new permits to be able to drive this load through Illinois to make my first delivery, then from Illinois into Iowa into Minnesota for the second part of it. Hey, NASCAR Nana, how you doing? Happy Thanksgiving to you. Jesse Miller, Unboxes and More, a very happy Chesapeake Thanksgiving Day to you. Unfortunately, I'm not making a Southern Maryland stuffed ham. I do not have that ability right now, but we'll do what we can. We're going to use the ingredients we have to have a sort of Thanksgiving. So first we got to wait for a truck. Then we got to get new permits. Then we got to do the delivery, which, given the timeline of when things could happen and when they're going to happen, being a holiday, being coming up on the weekend, I may not be leaving here until Monday sometime. Well, Southern Maryland stuffed ham is not for everybody, but that's one of the few things I do miss about Maryland. One of the very few. All right, so here's our ingredients that we are going to use for making our dinner. So we got a thing of water here. Let me get I'll take this towel here because I got some things that are kind of defrosting as well. Don't want to get on the bed. So we got some chicken thighs. Yes, it's not turkey, but we're gonna make it so it's good. So there we go. Christian Alvarez Miranda, how you doing? Hola. You are the first person from Chile to come into my live stream or watch my video. Thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate that. So, like I said, we got some chicken thighs. We got a bit of bacon. This isn't the applewood. I don't know why everybody likes applewood bacon. Regular hickory bacon. We have some peas. I had some KFC last night, so I got a bit of kernel corn. We're going to have some of that. We got some instant potatoes. I do have, whole potatoes, but we're just going to use the instant potatoes here. This is Baby Red's mashed potatoes, Idahoan. Not bad for using in the truck. Salt, pepper, a bit of chicken demi-glace bouillon paste, some Wondra flour for our sauce or gravy, Italian herb seasoning, which is good all-purpose herb seasoning. Some butter we're letting soften. Some Weber Grill roasted garlic and herb seasoning. We're going to use a little bit of that. And some bread. We're going to have a bit of butter on the bread. We're good. So we are going to do what we can to make our dinner. This is going to be nowhere near perfect, but sometimes good enough is good enough. Now, with the basic destruction of the transmission, Big Houston, they're always looking for good drivers. If you have enough securement, well, hell, even if you don't have securement knowledge and heavy haul knowledge, they do have a small van fleet, dry van, not reefer, but called Daryl Jensen at Valley Transportation Services of Grand Meadow. and they will talk to them and see what's what. All right, so let's see if we can get this to show here. Let's see. Turn that brightness down a little bit more. There you go. 8 low, 8 high. That's the noise it's making. And then here, this is what's. All right. Well, you see right here, transmission fluid is leaking. Yep, so we're dead. All this back here. This is what's happened overnight. Yeah, so that's the state of my transmission. Another reason why we are sitting. So nothing else we can really do about it except grin and bear it. So we're going to make the best of being here in Paducah, Kentucky, which I can honestly say is not terrible. Ouch. It's not exactly terrible to be here, but at the same time, not one of my favorite places in the world. But we will make do with what we got and be thankful, as is the day suggests. We're going to be thankful for what we have. 2A TVs, how you doing? Helen, how you doing? Hey, 2A TVs, have you headed out to Quartzsite? I thought Papa Drew was heading out to Quartzsite. I thought you were heading out there as well. It's been a while since I've been out there. Rolling Keith, how you doing, sir? Let me grab a Band-Aid here. Accidentally poked myself with my stick blender. Hit the blade real quick. Got a little mortal injury. So we're just gonna throw that on here a little bit. See if we can't go without bleeding to death. Yeah, so first injury in the kitchen. All right, so we got our panini grill here, getting nice and warm. We got some chicken thighs. Pull that up out the way. Trucker Z, happy Thanksgiving to you, sir. Let me grab a small knife here. There we go. So like I said, just regular old chicken thighs. So we're just going to do 2 thighs. You know, so we got that going nice and pretty well. Just a little bit under max temperature. Let's see here. Take that little piece off there. This is skin on, bone in chicken thigh. We're just going to throw that right there. We'll take the other small one here. Throw those on right there. Wipe that off real quick. So, bit of salt. Bit of pepper. And like I said, a little bit of this roasted garlic and herb. I'm going to shake that up a little bit. It's a little bit. Just to make sure we don't have any big clumps. JD Soller, how you doing? So we're going to sprinkle a little bit of that on there. Not exactly Thanksgiving-y, however you want to pronounce it. But we're gonna make do with what we have available to us in the old kitchen. So whatever fat comes off of the chicken, the fat that we collect, we are going to be using in our sauce. So we're not going to be wasting that flavor or that nutrients. No Raleigh, no cans of spaghetti. I mean, if I was going to do anything like that, I'm going to make some tuna casserole. I have the ingredients for that for the most part. Oh, I did pick up the other day a small jar of Kikkoman hoisin sauce. Now, Kikkoman is a Japanese brand. Hoisin sauce is more of a Chinese sauce, but we're going to be using some of this real soon. Right there. So keep your eyes peeled for that. So we got that going. Like I said, we're going to have a little bit of mashed potato. Yes, instant, but sometimes you got to compromise a little bit. And for most instant potatoes, I like the Idahoan brand. Even though they grow more potatoes in Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Washington, Oregon, and even I think New Mexico actually grows more potatoes than Idaho. But Idaho, for some reason, got known as the land of the spud. All right, so we're going to grill this up on the panini press. Once we're pretty much done with that, we're going to wrap it in some bacon, and we're going to be good. But we're going to cook it pretty much 99.9%, set it off to the side, attend to the potatoes, attend to the vegetables, attend to the sauce. Well, maybe not the sauce right away, but you know, we'll wrap it in bacon, do that up. We'll make the sauce and move on. You know, and plate everything up nice and neat as we can do. But as you can see, I have my traditional. Let me get up here. I have my traditional. You probably can't see it. My traditional holiday, you know, Thanksgiving flowers and tigers shorts on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, you know, not too anything really too complex to do. I mean, it's Thanksgiving. You know, unfortunately, I can't make pies. I'm not a big stuffing fan. But, you know, Raleigh, no. Like I said, I got a communique yesterday basically saying, stay where I am. They're going to bring a truck down to me. And there we go. So, when I get the new truck, I got to move stuff over. Whether it's going to be a permanent truck change, like it was last December when I got hit in Dallas. or is it going to be a temporary change given the fact that my second delivery is going right up to just about a mile away from company headquarters. So it could be a temporary, it could be a permanent, I don't know. All I know is, like I said, I was given instructions to drive it till it breaks. It's underwater. It's under warranty. Blah blah blah. But that's a lot more work for me to move everything that I have in this truck, my stuff, Christina's stuff, the company equipment. You know, everything that I have here. So, but you know, c'est la vie. I'm not hurt. Nobody else has been hurt. Nobody else's property's been damaged. So the company told me to do what they want me to do with the company vehicle. I followed instructions, and now here I wait. So there you go. But other than that, everything is peachy keen. So we are looking good. That's getting some good color on it. Now, unfortunately, one of the little rubber feet on here broke off. You know, the cheap plastic that these things are made out of nowadays. You know, so it doesn't sit quite level. I will be replacing this one. I like this model, but I think I'll get one that has a little bit more functionality. One that can fold up like a griddle. One that has a little bit more room on it. So this little Bella panini maker, which I got for like $30, I believe. This will be saying goodbye in a little bit. This might be the actual last meal I do on this. I'm going to try to find something that's a little bit better, but we'll see. We'll see. So, you know, I just wanted to make a quick little, you know, thing regarding being a truck driver, and this kind of applies to other people in other professions that takes them away from home. Let's see. One, I'm a military brat. My father was in the Navy. Many a time was he was gone at sea, not at home for the holidays. Umberto Silva. Mr. Umberto Silva has definitely shown himself to be a very good and helpful person. He helped my friend Christina when she's back in Atlanta for some personal stuff. And she had a bit of car trouble. And Mr. Umberto Silva was kind enough to give her some help. And I am grateful to him. A good person overall in my estimation. All right. I am taking the other two pieces of the other two chicken thighs, putting them in this silicone bag here. I'm going to marinate these with some black pepper, red pepper flake, a smidge of garlic, yeah, clean that off. That's feeling yucky. But he was very kind to help my friend Christina out, and when she needed it, because unfortunately I just couldn't be there. I mean, otherwise I would have taken care of everything and wouldn't have been a problem. But there you go. But he was there. Thank you very much. Exactly. And Mr. Silva has been in this case, a godsend. So I am, quote unquote, thankful. So we're gonna that in there. So we're gonna add a little bit of the. I'm gonna throw this away here. Put this guy in there. Throw that away. We're gonna take a bit of this hoisin sauce for the chicken that's gonna be marinating. I'll use this spoon as well. So, Kikkoman hoisin sauce, great for stir fry and dipping. Woo! That has a very nice odor to it. And I'm sorry if odor offends your definition, but smell is what you do. Odor is what floats through the air. So we're gonna have some of that. Put that in there. Clean that off. Set that right there. And we're gonna put a little bit of soy sauce in there as well. To kind of to thin that hoisin sauce out a little bit, but also add some good flavor and salt. There we go. So now we're going to, these little zesty bags I got off of Amazon. Nice and quality, somewhat decent quality silicone bags. You can boil, you can cook, you can freeze, you can marinate, you can store. So we're just going to mix all the ingredients up, shake that around in there. And we're going to let that sit for a couple of days to really absorb that flavor. So we can just stick that right on up in here. There, get that in there. Put our hoisin sauce up in there too, so it doesn't go bad. Where are you headed off to, Trucker Z? Yeah, I saw you. What you posted earlier on Facebook was, that you were getting tired. So, but like I said, I do thank you for helping. So we're good to go. That is still doing good. Stick this up here out the way. So in preparation for leaving the truck, I've got everything pretty much as clean as I can get it. I've got everything as organized as I can get it. Yeah, cooking dinner is going to get in that way a little bit. But we can only do what we can do. And like I said, I'd rather make a mess in my truck with cooking Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Trucker Z. So, like I said, to me, it's worth making a mess of dishes and having to clean dishes. I just don't. I don't see the value in paper plates, plastic knives and forks, paper napkins, food liners to cook in. Just not my speed, and that's my opinion. Yes, so whatever. There we go. That's starting to really get some color, crisp up that skin. Like I said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna wrap once we when we go to heat it up again. We're gonna wrap it in some bacon and throw it back on here. Well, I don't know all about that, but there you go. We're gonna do what we can do with what we got, and like I said, like today suggested, that little thing right there. be happy and thankful. And I am. I've learned hard lessons in life. I think most people have. And I will just do as I can do, when I can do. So we are going to be just going with the flow, as they like to say, for the most part. Clean this spoon off here. We'll clean as we go, as much as we can, while we have a little time to do so. Got my towel to wipe it off with. There we go. Now, the big thing is, in order to move all of this stuff in here, this cabinet will close, refrigerator, these 4 cubbies here, stuff on top of the bed, all the stuff on the back wall here. I mean, these shelves right here, these baskets, the wood it's attached to, those drawers, that shelf, the pantry, all that up there, all that's in the front, which isn't a whole lot. Everything outside, underneath the bunk on the 2 outside access ways, all the equipment that's out there, tools and whatnot. Everything in the headache rack, where all my chains and binders and straps and stuff that secures the load, where all that's at. That takes a little while to move it, then get it back into a place that is, useful. Let's see here. I need get a plate here. There we go. So we just got a little plate here. We will put the chicken thighs on. Get all this fat here down into the trough. So we're going to take we're not going to break out the big tongs. We're going to use little mini tongs. There we go. So that's looking good. Looking good. We're just going to move those around a little bit. Let that sit. Once those are pretty much cooked all the way through, we are going to, like I said, set them aside here on this plate. I got a little aluminum foil over there. Probably wrap them in that, just to keep them, warm. We'll attend to the mashed potatoes, then the vegetables. So we got a little bit of corn, which is left over from Kentucky Fried Chicken. We got some peas. We're gonna warm that up real quick. Set that aside. Wrap the chicken in bacon. Cook that. Do the sauce. Everything will just come together at the last minute and go from there. Barbecue sauce. Well, I got a bottle of Jimmy Dean right here. I haven't opened yet, but not quite Thanksgiving-y. So, I have been looking for the past couple of weeks for some pork belly, but can't seem to be finding any anywhere, which is not an easy ingredient to get, but when I can get it, I will be getting like a 2-pound piece and make sure that I portion it out the way I need it. There we go. And go from there, because pork belly is one of those ingredients I just love. I can do 500 different things with pork belly. It's just an amazing ingredient, which not too many people in a house use, and almost nobody in a truck uses. But I'll be damned if I can't find some and sacrifice the space in the refrigerator and freezer for it. Because I'll eat pork belly every single day until it's gone if I have to. So, but we only can do what we can do, when we can do, how we can do. But other than that, we are good to go. So the only reason why Christina's not here on the truck right now, she had some appointments that had to be met yesterday. So when we got to Fort Worth Saturday, and I was told to wait there for a possible second load to be picked up on Monday, which fell through. Basically, I knew I wasn't going to get back to Atlanta by Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, so had to put her on a plane to get her back to Atlanta so she can do what she needs to do. And now, because of the holiday, because of the transmission breaking, I'm not going to get back there until next week at the earliest. Wayward Lost Soul Music, how you doing? Thank you for coming in for a little bit of Thanksgiving dinner. So we are looking good. And let's see here. Let's go ahead and, if anybody wants to come on, there's the link, and hopefully my internet can handle it. Hope so. I definitely hope so. So if you want to come on to StreamYard, feel free. You have a little face-to-face chat, which is always a little bit better. But, for the most part, we're healthy. We're happy. We're satisfied with life for the most part. Things are going in the direction that I want to go. Just for my course of life, for health, for finances, for achieving goals. So I have no real complaints with life right now. There we go. I think we're going to call that a successful cook thus far. So we're going to get ourselves a little bit of Reynolds wrap or aluminum foil, tin foil, whatever you choose to call it. So we're going to, I'm just going to take that, lay right on the plate here. Well, I try to be, my short amount of time of life on this earth, I've had my share of stupidity. I'm not going to go into all the stupidity because it's too much to list. I've done good. I've done ill. Not really intending to hurt anybody, but, life is not just based upon your intention. It's also based upon the actual results of your actions. So, I'm not going to say that I've been perfect by any means. All right, so we got our chicken in there. So we're just going to wrap that up. And here's a good, safe way to wrap it up. Okay, so fold it in half like that. So we can get a little better picture there. Pinch it at the very top. Fold it over just a tiny, tiny bit so that it forms a nice seal there. Lay it flat. Fold the ends up. Fold the ends up. And as long as you haven't punctured it on the bottom there, it's not going to leak, so you're good to go. So we can close this. We're going to come back to this in a little bit. So we're going to turn that off. Unplug that. Let's see, I'm going to need a whisk. Set that out the way. I'm going to need a spoon, I think. Get that out. What else do we need? I think everything else we need is actually out, so I think we should be good. I think it'll be fine just for the moment. So we are going to try to scrape a little bit more of these brown bits out of here. Without really trying to make sure we don't damage the surface here. Just enough to get the bits off. There we go. Stick that where it's going to be useful to us in a little bit. So we're going to take the little tray off. We're just going to wipe that edge so it doesn't leak on the floor. I think that we should be good there. Throw that away. We got a little towel here, so that because we're going to set this on the floor, so we got a little kitchen towel there. We're just going to take that. We're going to lock that so it doesn't open up on us. We're going to set that on the floor and just let that sit there and cool off. All right, so we're good. This bit of fat that's in here, I don't know if you can really see it. There you go. A little bit of fat in there. We're going to save that for our gravy. So we're going to stick that up there where it's somewhat secure, quote unquote. We got our hot plate. I'm going to set that up. Mr. Welkster, happy Thanksgiving to you. Hope you're enjoying time with your family. B Blood, you have a very happy Thanksgiving. And if I do not see you, any of you, before Christmas or New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Yeah. Now I got that hot appliance on the floor. I'm going to take my my slippers off and fold myself up onto the bed here. There we go. Got to do what you got to do to make yourself able to be in the truck. You're in a tight, confined area. So. All right, so we got a wok here, which we're going to boil up our vegetables. We got a pan here for our sauce. Well, actually, we're going to do the potatoes first. So we'll do the potatoes in here. We'll do our vegetables, get those warmed up in a little bit of butter. We're not going to boil them. We're just going to warm in some butter. So we don't have to worry about that. And then we'll do the sauce in here once that is done. So we're just going to set that off to the side. We're going to go ahead and get a plate. My typical plate ready as well. And we're just going to try to make this work. All right, so I got a measuring cup here. So, according to the package for the baby red yeah, I remember that. But they do that everywhere. So like I said, we're gonna baby red potatoes. We're gonna be adding a good deal of butter to this. 2 cups of water for the stovetop, which is what we're doing here. So we're gonna get that going. Now, this is a 2-cup measuring cup. So we're gonna get that going. Go. And to flavor the potatoes even more, We're going to take some of our chicken stock, demi-glace, bouillon. We're going to add a bit of that in there. That'll add a lot more flavor. It's going to add a bit of salt, yes. But I'm not afraid of salt, so there you go. And we're also going to be using this for our gravy. So we're going to let that boil up. I'm going to stick that out the way there. Let's see here. Wanda Wyatt, a very happy Thanksgiving Day to you as well. I hope you are with your family, as at least the ones you like. We all know how families can be. So we are making our dinner, unfortunately for myself only, but I thank you all for joining me at least a little bit of your time. So, but like I said, these baby reds are pretty good for instant potatoes. Now, a lot of times if I use an instant potato, I'm going to add a real potato to them. And I got a real potato here. I could add that. Roxbury, thank you very much. And a happy Thanksgiving to you as well, TJ Bull the Woods. Hopefully you are in Oregon with your family. We are making our Thanksgiving dinner. Some instant red mashed potatoes, a bit of chicken thigh, peas and corn for our vegetable. We're going to have a little bread and butter. We're going to wrap the chicken thighs in a little bit of bacon to make it a little bit more festive. As much as we can, of course. Okay. All right, we got a nice bowl here for our mashed potatoes, and we'll throw some aluminum foil on that once those are cooked and hot and waiting to the side. Rip that off right now. Get that set. There we go. So let's. So that demi-glace, the better than bouillon chicken, is all nice and dissolved. So that's going to add a good deal of flavor to our mashed potatoes. Oh, Michigan. $1,600. All right. Yeah, let's see. You're about an hour, about 2 hours away. So, but hopefully you have a good time. That's the big thing. Time with the ones you love. That's the big thing. Now, I wish I could be at my sister's house with friends and family, but unfortunately, as per usual for me, I am out on the road, and here I am stuck. Metal Music Maniac, how you doing? I'm sure you have your plate ready. Yeah, mine's getting ready. I'm in the process. Sanitizer ranch sauce. The way people are going nowadays, wouldn't be surprised. All right, so that's come to a boil. So we're just going to turn this down a little bit. Actually, we're going to turn it off. Just going to give that, we're going to make sure that's stirring, adding, nice and gently, so we don't get the clumps where we don't want them. So each little bit is separated. much as possible. Like I said, we're going to be putting a good deal of butter on this, so this is going to be nice and tasty, in my opinion. Like I said, I like the Idaho potatoes here. Stir that around. That's starting to thicken up. Those. After a certain point, you really don't have to worry about too much lumps, because enough it just the physics of it, you know, makes it do its thing. Throw that this side there. And for instant, you know, dried potato flakes, this isn't too bad. I mean, it's a little bit more mashed than I like. I like basically just stirred potatoes, so that, you know, a little bit of it breaks down, but I like the big chunks. So we are going to take, you know, we got plenty of salt in there for that. A little bit of black pepper, just to give it a little bit extra oomph. We got a spatula here. Slide this over a little bit. All right. So we got a bowl here to hold that in. So we're just gonna. There we go. Set that right there. That out of there so it doesn't burn to the pan. There's enough residual heat in there so it can burn to the pan, make it a little bit less easy to clean. So we're good to go. There we go. Not too bad, not too bad. And of course, because it's mashed potatoes, well, we will see. Hopefully by next year, I am able to purchase the piece of land up in Montana that I want. You know, maybe not the actual piece, but a piece of land. So let's stick a little bit of chunk of butter right on top of there. Let that melt in. There we go. Set that over off the side. Go ahead and cover that up so that stays nice and warm. All right. So we're just going to set this off to the side because we don't really need that anymore. Now we're going to use this pan for our vegetables and then our sauce, because the butter we're going to use to cook the vegetables, a little bit left over to go into the sauce is going to be perfectly fine. So we're going to take, like I said, a little bit of corn, which we got from Kentucky Fried Chicken. 1, 2, 3 big scoops of that. Yes, I was lazy yesterday, just a stressful day because of transmission pretty much blowing up on me. I didn't want to cook. I just was not in the mood to cook, so there you go. Now, peas don't really need to be, you know, cooked to death so they're mush. The only time you want mush peas if you're making split pea soup or you're a baby. Otherwise, your vegetables should have a little bit of vitality left in them. Hopefully. So we're going to get that warm. Throw in a little bit of butter. And the rest of this warm butter is going to go on to some bread. So we're going to let that melt and do its thing. Then we will make our sauce, which I think is going to be A-OK. So for our sauce, we're going to get that started right now while that's doing its thing. So get a little bit of water. We're going to have more sauce than we need, I think. But, you know, whatever. A little bit extra isn't going to hurt nobody. All right, so we're going to clean this off real quick because we don't want to contaminate this with a dirty spoon. Set that in there. So the water is basically at room temperature. So it's going to take a little bit longer for it to dissolve into the water. But we'll do what we can. So the salt, the butter has been salted. No, I didn't do that yesterday. Hopefully the mask will strain out the lumps. I don't need food to be perfect. I just need it to be good. You know, I'd rather have somebody who isn't a chef making the food and making it imperfect, but making it with love and, you know, a desire to really cook than trying to be all fancy. You know, it's like, learn the techniques, yes, but other than that, yeah, I could care less about your degree as a chef. So we're going to get these peas and corn a little bit sauteed here. I could add a little bit of garlic to this, a little bit of some other different spices and seasoning, but I like the taste of the vegetables. I'm going to taste that corn. I'm going to taste those peas. I'm going to taste that butter, complementing that stuff. So, you know, I don't need anything else on that. I was going to make chili, but like I said, I just gave up on it. It's like, I just don't feel like it. Mr. Huber, how you doing? Hopefully having a good Thanksgiving with your parents and with your daughter. Tell them I said hello. All right, let me find my little spatula here. We're just going to use this spatula here just to toss those around. Like I said, we're not trying to really cook them through. We're just trying to warm them up. The corn's already cooked. The peas just need to be warmed through. Right now, I don't know if you can see it here, that bubbling there is the water in the butter escaping. So when that bubbling stops, that's when you know the butter is properly heated through. Give a little stir there. Let's see here. So we have there's our mix for our sauce. Gonna take a little bit of the McCormick's Italian seasoning for some bit of herbiness. Gonna add that in. Fresh, of course, is better. Just a little bit of black pepper. Now I could add a bit of garlic to this, but I really don't want any more. I don't want any more garlic than what I already have. There we go. Get a spoon here just to do a quick taste test. A bit of corn, a little bit of peas. Make sure we have plenty of salt on them. All right. Nice and sweet. There we go. So we're going to set this down here real quick. Just throw that right there. And all that butter, all that fat that's there is going to be just fine. So now we have a bit of butter in there. We're going to put a little bit more in here. We're going to put basically an equal portion of butter we want to turn that heat down a little bit, because what now we're going to do is we're going to make a roux, which is a good thickening agent for our gravy to give it that smooth, nice, rich, unctuous feeling. You know, kind of a creaminess. I'm going to do that. But that's why I use the Wonder flour. And if those of you who've seen me cook with this before, know what's going on. So we're going to put an equal by weight amount of butter to flour. Set that right there. Nice soft silicone whisk. We're going to constantly take that on and off the heat to cook the flour a little bit, to take away that raw flour flavor. We're going to keep stirring it so it doesn't burn. And we don't want to get a lot of color in this. We don't want to make this too dark. We want to keep it what's like right there, what's called blonde. We're just going to keep mixing it around. We basically want to get every granule of flour totally filled up, like a little water balloon, with that fat, with that butter. So every little granule is full of butter, doing its chemical reactions on the inside, along with the heat. There we go. So I think we can set that right off to the side for the moment. Let that sit. It doesn't need to be doing anything else beyond that. So now we need to take this. We need to set that aside as well. We got to do a little flip-flop in here. Okay. So be careful when you're doing these kinds of things, please. So this is cooled down. This is hot. So be careful with your hand. Be careful with the cord. We're going to set that right there so we're not burning ourselves or anything else, especially the carpet. All right. There we go. Now we'll plug this one back in. Going to get that heated up so we can put the flour back over here, blah, blah, blah. Oh, get my chicken out here. Set these over here out the way. Grab some bacon here. A bit of hickory, traditional hickory bacon. This is thick cut bacon, which I prefer because I like bacon. I do not like bacon when it's been made crispy. I do not like bacon when it's overdone. I like bacon that is still halfway, what a lot of people would consider halfway raw. Right? Let me grab my my little cup here with the fat, because we're going to need that for the sauce. We're getting this nice and hot. That's about halfway ready. So we're going to make a little funnel at the end so we can dump our juice off into the fat container, into the little container there. Nope. So we don't spill it on the bed or anything. So now, let's tilt that down a little bit. I'm going to take a piece of bacon. Get back on the plate there. I'm going to grab our piece of chicken here. Just give that one good wrap. That's getting nice and hot. Get that right on there. Take our thigh. Get a good old wrap. Get that right there. all the little bit of, one little extra juices in here. Like I said, make a little bit of a funnel. Get that where we can use it. There we go. Any little juices came off there. Throw that in there. Let's go ahead and quickly wipe that up. We'll get another towel. We'll just throw this one off to the side. There we go. There we go. Throw that. We'll put that over here. Stick it over there where it's not going to hurt anybody. Grab another hand towel up there. There we go. Lori's Crochet Corner, how you doing? I hope you had a good dinner, Lori. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. So like I said, we got our chicken thighs wrapped in a little bit of bacon. Let's get back up there, you little troublemaker. There we go. Get that bacon cooked through. Get a little bit of that pork fat down into here. Once we do that, we're going to bring our hot plate back up. We'll finish up our sauce, then we'll plate up. Going to sleep, Mr. Umberto. You have a good night. Safe travels tomorrow when you get back up to where you need to go. And hopefully you have a good time. Good. And you be safe on the road out there, my friend. And thank you again for helping out as you did. I appreciate it. So, there we go. So we're going to take a moment while that's doing its thing. We're going to put some of this stuff away here. Throw those peas up in there. Throw that corn in there. And what else can we put in there? We still need the butter out. So we're good to go. So we got, you see, we got a little bit of butter going all over the place, which ain't gonna hurt nobody. All right, we'll put these. Grab myself a fork. If I can find one, there we go. Grab a fork. We got a knife. Stick that right there. Close that up. Put those away while we are waiting for that to finalize itself. There we go. Put that in there. And then, of course, the fun part is going to be the cleanup process. But that's always the fun part. Which, like I said, I'm always at a loss why people are so against cooking and cleaning. You know, it's like, I enjoy it. You know, I even enjoy the cleaning up part. You know, just, all right. Well, we got a plate here. I'll just grab a different plate. I got a different plate here. Here we go. So we got some nice soft butter, which we're going to have with our, we have a little bit of bread, which is going to substitute for some rolls. But nice and soft. So we're just going to take a nice, good old slab of that, go right there. It's going to spread nice and easy. There we go. It'll be a good accompaniment for our dinner. It helped to sop up any of the sauce that we may have left. We'll see. A nice, as good a dinner as we can make on the road with limited ingredients and limited tools. So we got that going. There we go. Get that out the way. There we go. Let's take a look. Looking fabulous. All right, so let's take that off the old grill there. I should have got the bigger. We'll probably get the bigger ones here. Yep. We'll just grab the bigger tongs because those ain't working. Throw those on the plate. There we go. So now we got that fat there. And of course, everything I want to do, I don't have enough room for. There we go. Unplug that. Grab our hot plate again. Lock this up so that we can move it. There we go. Wipe the edge of this so it doesn't leak all over the floor. I'll set that down in there. Move that to the side. That's good. Got to play musical chairs with this stuff, but it is the way it is. We'll get this hot back heated up. There we go. And here's our roux waiting for us, nice and the residual heat's been cooking it slowly, but we're going to get that warm again. We got our chicken base here. We got some extra flavor here from the fat. We got that ready. Let me throw this out the way here. We don't need that anymore. We'll get that out the way. We're going to get another plate because, like I said, this is more food than I would normally eat at one time. So let's get ourselves plated up here. That. Actually get a spoon here, I think. That'd be a better way to do this. There we go. So this is normally a two-person meal, but there you go. We got our mashed potato volcano here with plenty of butter lava. That right there. That. Make a little well in the middle for some gravy. Put the lid right back on top. Nestle that in so it doesn't really go anywhere. There we go. All right, so that is nice. Getting nice and hot. There we go. Set to the side. Give this a little bit of a stir. Coming back from Ohio. Well, ain't made it up there yet, so we're gonna put this off to the side. There we go. Got our whisk ready, because that's gonna bubble a little bit and instantly thicken up as we do this. So we got to make sure we're gonna add it slowly so it incorporates. We got a nice chickeny flavor, nice and herby. By getting that creamy, smooth way of, going on there. There we go. And you leave it on the heat, it's going to thicken up. Now, tarragon would be best for this, but there you go. So a little bit more of this fat and flavor. I'll throw that in there. I'm just going to dump that right in there so it doesn't spill as much. There we go. This is getting thicker, so we want to add a little bit more. We don't want to add any more of the fat to that. I want to add just a little bit more water to thin it out a little bit. There we go. So there we go. Looking good, looking good. Okay. We can turn that off. Grab our plate here. Put that gravy right in the middle of the mashed potatoes. Right on the chicken as well. Be better if this was boneless, but ain't gonna complain. Set that right there. couple slices of buttered bread. And there is our Thanksgiving meal. Done in the truck. Not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but like I said, sometimes good enough is good enough. And sometimes you just got to be thankful for what you have. And I get to cook. I don't have to wait for anybody else. And I can do as I want. And I'm happy for that. So. Bon appetit. There we go. Let's see here. So I just want to say thank you all for taking an hour and a little bit more out of your time joining me for a little bit of Thanksgiving. Janet A., how you doing? Thanks for coming in. I do appreciate each and every one of you who watch my regular vlog, who watches the live streams, driving and working, watches the cooking show. I appreciate it, and I am grateful and thankful to you all for doing so. I look forward to many more of these in the upcoming year. I have a Facebook page for cooking called Unapologetic Semi-Kitchen, where I'll be posting a lot of my videos and whatnot too for cooking. And also just what I normally make and cook during the average work day and work week. So please feel free to post your own stuff. Criticism is wanted and good. So don't be afraid to say, that looks bad. Here's what you should have done. This is what I would like to see. So, but we're going to post things like that there. I was trying to come up with a menu for this Sunday's dinner. But given the fact that I don't know if I'm going to be in my truck, if I'm switching to another truck, I may have to delay this Sunday's dinner because of the situation with the transmission and switching trucks and all that. So this Sunday's meal, I'm afraid is going to be delayed until next Sunday. So keep your eyes peeled for the menu selection. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. Normally, I would have the time to shop and whatnot, but I will try to do a cooking video nonetheless. It just won't be where I just have to use what I have and not really be able to have a variety of stuff, but we'll see what we can do. But other than that, thank you all very much. Happy Thanksgiving to each and every one of you. Whether you are in Australia, you are in England, or you're in Chile, or anywhere else in the world, thank you very much. God bless. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Have a Merry or a Happy Christmas, depending on how you say it, and a wonderful New Year if I don't see you before then. Other than that, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. I'm going to have a little bit of dinner. I'm going to post a picture on the Facebook. So you'll see that. Like I said, Unapologetic Semi-Kitchen. Look for that group. It's open to anybody who wants to join. I'll put a little bit clearer picture up there of dinner here, and we'll go from there. Thank you all much. Talk to you later.